Mayabhushan Nagvekar. Just a small interview, if you don't mind giving us some insights into PenPricks many years later, 10 years later.
Lesser. I started in 2004 or 5.
So to begin, PenPricks was this website which was critical, very critical of the media functioning in Goa.
Absolutely.
When you look back at it, what are your thoughts?
I wish I could continue it, but it kind of put me in a spot because the kind of stories which came out on PenPricks hurt a lot of people, a lot of institutions, and I ran out of jobs. So
no one likes to be criticized. I mean, like even I would not like to be criticized. So, and I think people take criticism personally.
Sure.
Is there some other way where you can, I'm just saying, thinking, all these years later, is there some way where you can make a point to the problems, but not necessarily offend people? Because PenPricks really went overboard in terms of.
No, why can't you offend bad? In this case, bad journalism. Why shouldn't you offend bad journalism? If it's bad, I mean, if it's, and not that standards have improved since then, but a bad copy, a bad paper, a corrupt paper, why shouldn't it be heard?
No, you have a point, and I fully agree with that. But sometimes, Bhushan, no, it's a question of who defines bad. Sometimes it could be a systemic failure. Sometimes I may want to do a job, but I cannot do it. Only I know where the shoe bites me. That
reader be concerned about it. He's paying to buy a product, right? Why should your product be short or compromised when a reader buys it? You're not giving it out for free.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
So just to go back now, what were the kind of issues that you felt were most important to the media then in Goa?
I felt at that point of time it was necessary to put out, what goes on behind a newspaper and make that linkage to the reader about what goes on behind in a newspaper and what eventually gets published. So that was one aspect. The second was a lot to do with ethical issues, pointing out credibility issues, pointing out ownership conflicts and such.
Yeah, because mostly the reader doesn't have a clue of what goes into making the news in that sense. But of course,
listen, you buy a packet of Parle-G, it tells you what's in it, right? It tells you what ingredients are in it. I think a newspaper should be as transparent as a Parle-G packet.
The funniest story that I recall was, of course, the story of the German Nazi. Can you recount it for us and how?
Yeah. So, not too many people were involved in PenPricks. People assume even Frederick Noronha was a part of it, but let me put it on record now that he wasn't.
Yeah. In fact, many people used to accuse me of being part of it, and out of sheer solidarity, I would not deny it.
Yeah. But Frederick Noronha was not part of this, what you once accused me of muckraking stuff, which I later learned was not an accusation.
Okay.
So, it started off as a means to kind of put out how a lot of media houses, a lot of reporters, because they're pressed for time, because there are other things to do, because there's so much workload, and at the same time a little bit of laziness about how information is not processed before it is passed on to a reader.
Yeah.
So I'm very bad at designing, so I didn't even know how to convert a Word file into a PDF at that point of time. Yeah. So I sat and wrote down a press note.
2008?
2008, yeah. 8 if I'm not mistaken. Wrote down a press note claiming to be a spokesperson for a German agency called Perus Narc. Narc, yeah. KNARP. Who was responsible for the arrest of this very old German guy who was a former adjutant of a concentration camp. The camp was called Marsha Tikash Wana, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and he was arrested in some jungles in Khanapur, which is a border district, a border area between Karnataka and Goa. The reason why we chose Khanapur was because of a strategic input I got saying, such an arrest should not be carried out in a
in one state.
In a
one
zone
state.
where it can be established. So
Yeah.
because this is a forested area, there's not too much of a population.
Maybe I could claim credit for that.
Yeah, you should claim credit for that.
Small input, yeah, whatever.
So I drafted this press note and sent it out to people. I followed up with a call saying I'm so and so for the German agency. I called 3-4, I think, reporters or desks saying.
And it was a Sunday evening when the desk is not too well
at its optimum. Yeah. So as I expected, a lot of papers locally carried it. Once the story was out in the local media.
And then the same day you didn't send it to the national media?
No, my strategy was that the local guys carry it.
Okay.
And once the story is out in local papers, the national newspapers feel it's published in local papers, there might be something to it. So the day after, a lot of national media, national newspapers ran the same story, except for maybe a couple of them. One Telegraph
didn't carry.
Ran a story which included more details than the one I had provided in the press. The story, it caught on such a momentum that even security agencies confirmed that such a thing had happened to journalists.
Just to clarify, just to clarify, this was a total fake story, and in it you said that there was this German adjutant.
Oh yeah, a German adjutant who was caught because he had put out an ad for the sale of a grand piano, and the name of this fictitious German adjutant was Johann Bach.
Johann Bach. Okay, and basically it was totally made up and it was totally fictitious, and the point you were trying to make was that the media is not verifying its news before publishing.
Processes. My key was the point I was trying to make was processes were faulty. Processes were alarmingly faulty.
Yeah. And then many papers kept on reporting on it and following it up.
Yeah, I think the story ran for a couple of days until I think Hartosh Singh Bal, who is now editor of Caravan, wrote me a mail saying, wrote a mail to PenPricks saying, okay, I've got the anagram.
I see.
Snap is super prank.
I see.
Yeah, so he figured it out.
Really?
And the next day I put it on the blog saying,
he's a mathematician, no?
Yeah.
And he's an amazing,
he caught that. He was the first one to catch it, yeah. First one to catch it and write to PenPricks, yeah.
And write to PenPricks.
Yeah. So for the record, he's the one who cracked it first.
Which were the other important stories you remember?
Porn. So a lot of newspapers publish ads. Advertising for escorts and massage services and this and that, which it's a newspaper may not be the best place for these kind of ads, which are actually very poor masks for prostitution. Yeah. So on National Press Day, I don't recall the year, what year it was, but on National Press Day,
November 16.
No, I don't know which year it was.
Okay.
Maybe it was like 2006-07 perhaps. So I published ads for such services, advertising the use of young boys and girls. And the ad was published in 3 newspapers, and each of the ads had the respective phone number of the editor.
I see.
Under it. So if I were to place an ad in, say, the Navin Times, I added the number of the editor there, so that he should know that people are interested in this service, and perhaps you should kind of put them on the front page. So
these were some of the issues, but I think the media got very upset when they found themselves on the firing line.
Yeah, I guess that's an expected thing. Yeah, who would, like you said, who wouldn't be upset?
But at that stage, it was still unknown who was running PenPricks.
No, it was completely unknown. Completely. I wasn't in Goa then. I was in Delhi.
No one even suspected.
I think people suspected, but there's only so far you can go with suspicion, right? I did face the backlash much later. But it's not something I had exactly envisioned, but it was somewhere there.
I think when you had this Paris Narka prank, some Karnataka police did some investigators and said
because the momentum of the story was such that I think even they were forced to agree that something may have happened.
Yeah, but they also said later they gave a clarification that 2 or 3 journalists who had left one newspaper, which was probably the Herald, were behind it or something like that. They came close.
No. This is, you're mixing up two things. So this was one story. I think NDTV did a story on it at that point of time where they contacted Ashwin Tombat. Ashwin Tombat said that 1 or 2 journalists who had quit the Herald may have been behind this.
Okay. What was the backlash like?
I didn't feel the backlash immediately. I felt the backlash after I came back to Goa, which is 2008, where I thought I didn't think it would be very easy getting a job considering the lineage now, but I was like unemployed for a long time because no one was willing to touch me.
Yeah,
but that's a lesson learned, and I don't think this is the end of PenPricks. So probably on a day when I decide not to bank on journalism as a full-time vocation, I shall probably restart it again.
Churi Muri is a good option. You feel that doing it more subtly, less bluntly.
I think Churi Muri does a good job at covering a lot of bases, but and being very informative.
Yeah. But you think something harder is called for?
I think Churi Muri is also very. I think it attracts a lot of media persons to read it. Because a lot of media persons are interested in reading
gossip about the profession.
Not just gossip. No.
Inside information.
It's a lot more than just
inside
gossip.
Information.
Yeah, but I think it needs to be wider. I think your reader needs to know. Your viewer needs to know what the fuck is going on. It cannot be.
Unfortunately, Bhushan, it is only the affected people who will get to know. So they will take objection to what you are writing. But does the average reader wake up and notice?
I think the average reader, look, when we had PenPricks, social media wasn't as vibrant a space as it is now.
True.
So maybe now things may have reached out in a different way. Things may have, the impact may have been more different.
Yeah. Very interesting. Thanks. And, here's wishing that someone takes up the torch.
Someone should.
Do you, since we are on that point, maybe I could ask, the media is not getting any better.
Not at all.
What are the main issues in front of it?
I think foot soldiers who were corrupt once upon a time are like right on top now, decision-making positions. Very few people. Strangely, when at a time when media is booming elsewhere in terms of younger people getting attracted to it, not necessarily, in Goa it's very different. We seem to be attracting a lot of trash as young in those young reporting and sub-editorial positions. Really bad stuff.
Just to give a
I sound like Trump, huh?
To give a counter view, like, part of the crisis is that the media industry is desperate to find alternative business models. Costs are going up, they don't know how to make ends meet, so they use all these questions.
I guess that's what will eventually happen to most local media setups, right? Because it's the same infrastructure, but your reach is less and your returns are lesser. So I guess that's some innovation needs to be done on that front, right?
Alternative media?
Yeah, but you still need to kind of see that, vision coming through
It's not easy.
For local entrepreneurs, yeah.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
Yeah, man.